Alrighty, so this is part 2. So for this, you're going to need the massage stick, lacrosse ball. So let's go ahead and start with the massage stick because it's actually kind of like the foam roller. I keep this around because it allows me to actually do some of this myofascial release that is similar to the foam roller for my clients, especially if they might be a little bit heavier. So to fold over that is just uncomfortable for them. I can do that for them at that point. But this is really for you to be able to use on yourself also. Great tool. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the outside here. It has these rollers on it. So as I push, I can bring down and I can essentially roll just like I would on the foam roller. Now, this, especially if you're doing it on yourself, is one of those things that, I mean, you get to scale it. I get to push as much as I want to on this to get in there super deep. But some people go really, really light on themselves. You'll notice the difference between somebody else doing this for you and you doing it on yourself too. And there's also some positions with this you're just not going to be able to get that great. My IT band, if I'm out here, it's okay, but it's a lot harder to get to, okay? But getting in here with the quad, the cool thing with this too is it's a little bit easier to travel with. So if I can't really bring my foam roller, I'm not going to be in a position where I can lie that on the ground and kind of foam roll around a whole bunch. I can use this, right? I can bring this to work. As I'm sitting at my desk, you could be, I mean, essentially foam rolling, but doing the same thing with the massage stick right here. Getting in to this medialis right here, finding these different knots. I can also take the end of it and push on an area and kind of slowly guide it through. You could also use it where I'll push into this, and we're going to use this technique a little bit more with the lacrosse ball, but where I push here and then I extend the leg out, right? I find those areas that have a ton of tension, like right here for me, I can pull through with the quad. That is true myofascial release, where we're actually holding down a certain area of the tissue right here and then causing all the tissue around it to really move, which is going to help that release. All right. The cool thing, I mean, there's a ton of other stuff that I can do with this too. Usually you'll see for my clients, I'll have them do it on their calf, or I'm underneath like this, or on the outside of the calf, getting in there also. I'll usually do it for their adductor where we come, and for this we typically lie down on the ground, but we get in here so that they can roll. A lot of the times that tissues right through here on the upper part of the calf, right here towards your shin bone, and then right through here on the medialis gets stuck. So I'll have it so that they're on their side and they're really pulling and rolling through that area. You can also use your knuckle for that. I mean, if I didn't have this and I'm feeling that tissue, I find those sticking points. You'll find it because it'll be painful. I'll just take my knuckle and I'll rub on it a little bit. I'll try and get it a little bit mobile. It's stuck, right? It has something on it is essentially locked down. You come in here, you relieve some of that by just moving the tissue around. And then finding the tissue that's close to it around here that you can work on, okay? So that's going to be the massage stick. For the lacrosse ball, I can do the same thing. All the techniques I actually did over with the foam roller, I can actually do with the lacrosse ball. It's going to be a lot more strenuous. It's gonna be a lot more painful, to be honest, if you do this and you're not ready for it. It's a good transition though. It lets you know you've made progress. So usually we'll go from the foam roller to like a med ball, like a 8-pound or 6 or 10-pound med ball that's like this. And really what's going on is you've changed the surface area. You're a little bit more sprawled out on a foam roller. We basically make it so it's a little bit more of a focal point when you move to a med ball. And then by the time I get to this, I mean, this is small, right? So this is going to put a lot of weight in one concentrated area. So it's going to be, like I said, a little bit more painful, especially if you haven't done the foam roll or anything like that. That's if you transition to the ground. And I've done other videos where I show you how to do soft tissue work with your neck against the wall and stuff like that. The cool thing with this though is it's more manageable when you're going to travel, right? You can take this to work, you can keep it in your car, right? You can take it in your backpack. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this. Now, for your quad, it's like I showed you with the massage stick. I can find an area now with this, and I can place this on my quad, and I can push down, and then I can slowly straighten my leg. I can push here, and then slowly straighten my leg. This is really is up to you as far as the amount of pressure and leverage you're going to put on this to get deep in there. If I don't push that hard, I'm not going to feel that much. I could sit here and do this all day, right? But if I leverage my shoulders over and lean into this and push down on that, and then pull through it, this is more strenuous than the foam roller in my opinion, at least for me, with the amount of weight that I can leverage on top of this, okay? So, I would do that. I also take this, what I showed you with the massage stick, I'll also take this if I have this and I don't want to use my knuckle. I literally just roll this on these areas right here. Because I'll literally get like a ligament in here that gets stuck. And I'll just sit here and I'll rub it and I'll feel it ease up on me and it'll go away. I do this a lot and I've shown my clients that do have knee problems these techniques, and it typically helps them a lot. They'll end up integrating it into their day-to-day lives, and that's where you're going to see the true benefit, is doing this more than just once randomly, okay? Now, I want to cover one more. I've done it in another video. I'm only going to show one part of this though, which is for your hamstring. I don't want to just concentrate all of my attention just on the quad. I want to get my hamstring loose. Also, basic hamstring stretch, stuff like that. But one of the techniques that you can do with this, especially if I'm on my countertop table, but if you have a high enough chair, you could do this with your chair. What I'm going to do is I put this underneath my hamstring here, I lean on this a little bit, and then I'm just going to straighten my legs slowly. Notice that I don't do any of these movements really, really quick. We want to pull through slowly on this. Same thing, if I leverage more and I push more on this, this is going to be a lot more painful. With this, I would do about 3 passes and then I would move to another section on this, okay? Whole hamstring right here. You're going to feel a lot more typically on the lower half by the back of the knee here for the hamstring, and then usually way up top here you're going to find a lot of tension also if you're pressing hard enough. So, this has been the second part covering the massage stick and the lacrosse ball. I'm going to put links to make sure that you guys can find these things if you haven't already bought some. These will be for Amazon.com. If you guys have any questions or comment, if there's anything that you want to see, definitely let me know. I'm going to be shooting a lot more of these videos. Please click the subscribe button also, just so that you'll get those updates on that. And I want to thank you so much for watching.